Hey, greetings and salutations. Welcome to another episode of Gabriel's Corner. It is about 8 something in the morning, the day after the full moon, December 22nd, and then summer and then the winter solstice. So how is everybody feeling? I have to admit, I'm feeling really good, energized, a lot more clear headed, detaching from things that no longer serve me, I no longer need in my existence, and ready for fresh, brand new, creative, love, abundance, travel. And those were my intentions that I set last night. So I'm sure everyone else had their intentions set as well. What I want to talk to you guys about is about the awakening. As y'all know, everybody is awakening. Everybody's coming awake in their own unique way. Those of us that's been going through it since like 2011, 2012, and so forth, we're, of course, we're farther ahead. We've anchored a lot of energy into the planet, and we're all rising, and things are getting clearer. And while a lot of old templates and negative things are still trying to hold on, but they're fully dropping away. But this right here is mostly for individuals that are awakening and don't aware of their awakening. I guess the first thing that I can say is that for those that are awakening and not really sure they're awakening, it's a very complicated thing to try to explain. But I will say this: those that are not awakening, remember, you hold cellular memory of every life you've ever lived because your soul actually carries the templates for those. And in that knowing, you'll start having weird dreams. You might have aches, pains, lockups in certain areas of your joints, of your body parts. You might be feeling fatigued at times. Sometimes you have abundance of energy. Sometimes you're tired. You're probably having a bunch of weird dreams, and you have no idea where these dreams are coming from. You know, you're having dreams about individuals you've never met before, ever, but in your dream, you know who they are. And this is just your soul talking to you while you're sleeping, and because your soul's constantly trying to do things to get your attention. And the best way to describe your soul is think of a child. And when a child is trying to get your attention, what does it do? Throws a fit, does a tantrum. It does things to grab your attention. Like, hey, over here, I'm here. Hey, pay attention to me. A lot of you know that my awakening started in 2011 and 2012. And mine, of course, like everyone else, it started like all happened completely out of the blue. And and in doing that, I didn't really listen at first, so it started causing a bunch of chaos around me. And that's what a kid does, is causes chaos around you until you are aware of it. Now, I just have to say this: awakening is an individual process. There is no person that can make you pay attention to what's inside you except you. I can get on here and tell you a million and one things. I can go in here and show you a million and one things. Anybody can. But if you're not doing the inner work and going in, taking that isolated time to yourself, wherever you can get it, you're not going to focus on it. For newly awakening individuals, it just lets you know it's not fun and games. It's not easy. It starts off really fun because you're like, oh, wow, yeah, oh, okay, cool. All right, you just get into this. And as you're getting into it, weeks, months pass by and you're like, okay, am I crazy? Maybe I'm just imagining this. Maybe I just bumped my head, or maybe something else is going on. No, there's nothing else going on. A lot of times we're expecting a physical presence to tell us about ourselves. And no one outside of you can actually tell you who you are. They can't. Your soul's been around for many generations, many lifetimes, before there was even this universe. So you have to trust that. Um, and it can be painful because with newly awakened souls, it's harsher. Actually, no, for newly awakened souls, it actually should be easier, but it's not. It's not an easy thing for anybody, to be completely honest, because you have to dig through all the crap. You have to dig through all your karmics, all your all the bad thing, any kind of karmic energy you've ever put out comes back at you. If you put out negative energy, you will receive negative energy, and you will continue receiving it until you figure out, okay, I need to break away from this. Now, a lot of people feel that at first it's, they want instant gratification. There is no instant gratification. Now, there's a way you can get instant gratification if you want to, but the instant gratification, if you get really, really quickly without going through the contract or the steps or the process that your soul has already had mapped out for you, because it's been mapped out for you before you were even here. So basically what you're doing, you're just, boy, it's really hard to explain this, because it's easy when it's hard to explain when you're going through it, so let alone when you're trying to help someone that's just now starting. So my suggestions will be to drink water. When you get a moment in time, listen to some music, ease your mind, go inward to yourself, find out what your higher self is saying to you. But you have to be careful, because right now, we're not the only ones that knows that we're awakened. Our governments know that we are awakening as well. It's a mass awakening. The whole planet is. And if you're awakening, or you're aware, or you think you're awakening, and like everything in your life is getting shook up and shimmied around, and you're throwing you completely out of your fucking comfort zone, that's what it's supposed to do. Because you have to get out of your comfort zone. You cannot awaken, you cannot move forward if you do not get out of your comfort zone. And your comfort zone can be, a lot of times people think it's like a really, really big thing when you're starting. And it is a big thing, because with me, I kind of got aware and told about the ending at the begin, but it wasn't told that it was the that wasn't the beginning and ending right there. But subconsciously, I knew it. I kind of knew, it's like, okay, this right here is not going to be over right now. I just got this feeling. But just go with it. It's basically it's teaching you to love yourself. Give yourself that love that you keep wanting from others. You keep trying to get from others, or you try to dish out to others expecting to get it back. Listen, you can't buy love. You can't manipulate love. You can't control it. And you have to understand that we're all energy. You try to force things that isn't meant, and everything is going to crumble. It may not happen right away. It may happen, over a period of time. And if you're one of those individuals kind of trying to take the shortcut, it's not going to be easy. You're not going to get what you want at all. You may get it temporarily, what you want, but you have to remember, all what you're doing to manipulate things come back, because it all receives an energy to universe, and everything is energy. You get what you dish out. Karma goes full cycle. So it's best to try to be as real, as authentic as possible. And being real and authentic as possible is not an easy thing, because you start getting isolated. People start drifting away from you. People don't understand you. People will actually hate you. A lot of times sometimes they envy you, but it comes out in hatred. You'll get a lot of this scorn. You'll get people turning their backs on you. You'll get people trying to, force you into things that is not in line with your soul's purpose. And honestly, that's what you have to follow, even though it's taking you somewhere. You're like, what the fuck? Listen, hey, where you taking me? And it takes you on a fucking roller coaster ride beyond belief. But once you start getting to a point where you start asking yourself questions, start questioning what you have thought your entire life. There's nothing wrong with asking questions. We're supposed to ask questions. You don't learn if you don't ask questions. And it's just I can't tell you how much karmic stuff you have. I really cannot. Me, myself, boy, I had a lot. No, not just the things that I have done in this life, in this lifetime, which, I've said it to the moon and back. It's no government secret. Gabriel wasn't the best person when, back in the day. I was a good person, but I had fucked up ways. Let's be honest. I stole from friends and families. Cheated on girlfriends. Treated people like crap and stuff like that, and that shit came back on me. It came back on me, bit me in the ass real good. I can honestly say that. And I can honestly say I deserved a lot of that. But I can also say that I also learned from it. And once you learn and pinpoint that, oh, that's why this is happening. Oh, that's why that's happening. Oh, that's why that's happening. Once you start realizing and start questioning, and the number one thing that ever always question yourself is, instead of saying why this is happening to me, what is this trying to teach me? Because we're all mirrors. When events happen in your life, that, out of fucking no fucking reason, out of the blue, there's a reason. And the reason isn't always clear. It makes it to everyone. Maybe the reason is just clear to you. Another thing that you must understand more than anything for newly awakened individuals: trust your inner knowing. Yes, listen to other people. Watch YouTube videos, because watch anything that your soul is calling to. Because if you let's say you're scrolling through something on the internet and something catches your eye, you don't know why, something you probably seen 1,000,001 times and you didn't really care, but this time it catches your eye and you're like, and it makes you pause. That's not an accident. It's not an accident. Everything happens for a reason, good and bad. The thing is for you is to navigate, and to navigate you have to trust yourself. This process will put you in a situation that completely different from where you thought you were gonna go. It happens every time, because it sends you on a topsy-turvy ride. But a lot of things you gotta understand is that you're kind of like processing through a lot of shit from past timelines. And a lot of you guys do not understand that, don't even believe that, but you got to understand something, that your soul and your DNA carries not just the DNA from this lifetime or from your relatives, but from generations on back. Because if it wasn't true, explain how two people can look the same and they live decades apart. See, you can't explain that. Okay? There is an explanation. It's called genetic tree, lineage, timelines. We've all been here several times before. Different faces, different masks, different personas, different sex, different colors, or whatever. So that's something to really think about when us as a people start thinking about, oh, I don't like that person. Um, oh, they're this digger, or da da da. Usually when you don't like someone or something, is usually because at a different life or a different timeline or in the past, you were that similar to that individual you don't like. It will teach you to be tolerant of individuals that, you know, don't agree with you or try to stop you from speaking your truth. Because that's another thing. You will start speaking the truth. You will start speaking and saying what's on your mind when you do speak. Silence will be a main thing because you'll be running a lot of things, processing a lot of things through your mind, through your heart. And the purpose of this is to try to get your heart chakra to open. Get your heart to open so you can be open with not just people close to you, but be open with yourself first so you can be open with those close to you. When necessary, you will find that your creativity will start to flow, and that's the main thing, because your soul is a creative entity. It's energy. Energy doesn't know bounds. It doesn't know limitations. It doesn't know boxes. It doesn't know conformity. It just knows to be free and to be happy, and that, as us as human beings, is what we're meant to be. Happy, happy with ourselves. We're not, because no amount of money, no amount of or a person can make you happy. Yeah, they can be a filler, but they can't make you happy. It is your job to make you happy. And the only person you can do this. Prime example. Before I went to prison, I thought drugs, PlayStation, having plenty of money, having a big house would solve all my problems. All of them. And granted, a lot of on the physical plane, yes, they would solve a fundamental lot of problems. But inside, am I happy when I'm alone? When the money's gone and no one else is around, am I happy with myself? Am I happy inside? Am and this is not talking about anything on the outside exterior, not where you're living, and not where you have a car, or where you have a roof in your head, or anything like that. It's, are you happy with yourself, regardless of anything that is going on or the current dynamics in your life? That is the main thing. Are you happy? I can honestly say now that yes, I'm happy. Um, and yes, I have a very clear, well, somewhat clear head, but I have a clear direction on how I want things to go. Now, when you have things planned out, universe comes in and might tip it off because it has a plan for you too. And this plan will not be denied. It can be sidetracked, it can be roadblocked, it could be a hurdle, and 9 times out of 10, these roadblocks and hurdles can come from you, from self sabotage, but it also can come from other individuals. Another thing you must understand, that you will find that the higher and higher and higher and higher you get in your vibration and raising your awareness and start asking questions that, or stating things that people don't really ask a whole lot, in general. But when you start doing this, when you start speaking more authentically, being more positive with yourself and loving yourself and giving yourself self love and self care, and isolating yourself for your mental, because it's a lot of it has to do mental. You need quiet, isolation, music. For those that cannot be in an isolated natural surrounding, my suggestion is music. Find something that you like doing, a creative outlet. For me, it's making videos, doing occasional writing, and things like that, um, and moving on with my business. Will that be my ultimate, career? Probably not. I feel it's just, I've always known that it's just a filler, but I'm still moving forward with it because I know it is also a part of where it is leading me. And as I know it is leading me, your soul and higher self will start leading you as well. Um, and as it start leading you, as you start letting your higher self guide you more, you will stop listening to outside interference and influences more. You're gonna get them. You're gonna get a lot of headway, and people fear change. People are, well, a lot of people are uncomfortable with change. Everybody wants change, and everyone knows change needs to happen. But the change first has to come with inside you before anything outside of you will change. Um, and That's very disturbing to some individuals, especially when individuals were used to you being one set way. When they're used to you just being, hey, you used to be like this. Da, da, da. Okay, I don't really vibe with that anymore. Things that you used to like to do, you won't find fulfilling anymore. I used to love playing video games. I still do occasionally. I used to love, hardly watching, heavily watching TV all day, all night. Um, I used to, well, we all know I used to really like doing all kind of different drugs, you know, and that's gone. I don't do those kind of things anymore, and it's not, and and the fact is, it's not more. It's a conscious and a subconscious choice. It's like it has no appeal to me. It has no control, or it doesn't draw me anymore. It's like I vibrated that out, and that's what's going to be happening. And that's a lot of really scary for a lot of individuals, especially when you're dealing with people in your life that you've known forever, or their family and they're close to you, and you still have that love and that strong bond. But as you get higher, you guys vibrate and separate out. It's no different than a child growing up and moving away from home. Sometimes it's tough. you know Sometimes people don't want to let go. Sometimes they're afraid they're never going to see you again, or what's going to happen to you out there. Something, it's just fear. It's just a lower base vibration of fear that is conjuring up of events that haven't happened yet, or events that might not even happen. But the thing is, you are control of your mind, and you can create your reality. So when doing that, you control and impact that fear. And if you let it eat away at you and run through your mind over and over and over again, it will control you and start manifesting itself in unique ways. And these unique ways are not, your typical ways. Just like something may happen with your car, or something may happen at work, or you were expecting something in the mail and it doesn't come until like days later, or whatever it may be. There is no specific thing that happens. You know, um, the best thing I can tell people that are awakening, that's not sure they're awakening, expect the unexpected. Uh, Believe that there's miracles. More importantly, believe in yourself. If any of you have any kind of creative outlets in any kind of way, shape, or form, no matter what it is, whether it's drawing, painting, writing, playing video games, whatever it may be, do it. Do it. Do it. And because I can promise you this, if you're doing that, because your soul is not going to point you in a direction where you're hurting, manipulating, controlling, deceiving, or trying to bound another individual, because it wants love. Um, because it knows you, because it's only going to make it worse for you. It's called tower moments. When you try to control a situation through those aspects, it never ends out well. Trust me, I know. Prime example: me and my kid's mom. When I first went to prison, me and her was writing each other for a while, and then she disappeared. And then I kept, sending letters, sending letters, sending letters, cussing her out, things that I used to do when I was on the street to, get her to write back. That's me forcing the situation, trying to control the situation, trying to make things go the way I want them to go, and it didn't work. In all actuality, it just pushes that person away a heck of a lot farther and isolates them from you. And then eventually the person wants nothing really to do with you anymore. So it's best like when people are leaving your life and people are letting go, something, sometimes that's meant to happen. It's tough. It's not easy, especially if you're someone, you have abandonment issues, or you have a problem with self-love and you're expecting others to give you the love that you deserve, but no one can give you the love you deserve, because you got to give it to yourself first. No one else can love you better than you love yourself, just like no one else knows you better than you. So, and it's not as complicated as most people think. It's just it is complicated, but it's not, because a lot of people are like, well, I love myself, da, da, da. But really think about this. Loving yourself is getting to know yourself. You know, doing little nice things for yourself. Spur of the moment. It's different for everyone. I would just say this. It's different from everyone. It's different for everyone. Um, but I can, but I would say a good way for all to start would be, I would say, would be music. And I don't mean just any type of music. Find a music that actually speaks and really speaks and connects with you. It's like when you hear this song, you're like, wow, yeah, man, yeah, I like this. Um, any music you get, I suggest that you get it off, that you download it and put it on an SD card, so that way you have it wherever you go. Don't rely on Spotify or anything like that. Just get the collection of music that that sings with you. The best way is to go back to when you were younger, the music that really spoke to you when you were growing up, that really caught you, and that you still think about today, and you be like, damn, I remember that song, man, that was a good ass song. Get it, because find that song, because that song is speaking to you for a reason. It is. And it's your soul telling you, like, hey, get that, I love that song. Do you understand? Your soul is like a kid, and it's trying to help you get out of this dead end pattern. It wants to live, it wants to strive, it wants to be free, it wants to express, but at the same time, you have free will. So it can't just take over you, but it will shake up things around you till you like, oh, okay, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. But you gotta understand, you and your soul are partners. You're connected. You're together. So there's really no one following anyone. It's you. You just gotta learn to work together, which is a very hard thing, especially for me, because I'm kind of a loner. I'm not used to really working with people. Um, especially after my awakening, because you start realizing that things isn't always what they seem. You start seeing things a lot differently. Like, you don't care about celebrities, or watching like, what's the, like Survivor or anything. You start moving away from old things that you really didn't do. And when you do watch them, you start seeing like, really, you'd be like, is this really what you're still talking about? Why don't you talk about something else? You'll start getting in tune more with nature. You'll start find yourself looking at like the clouds and the birds. You start noticing like birds coming by. You start noticing birds in your yard. You start noticing squirrels. I mean, and I don't mean like you'd never noticed them before. You start looking at them differently. You start seeing them as like, wow, that's beautiful. You start noticing the beauty in nature. You start noticing how like animals gravitate to you. You'll start noticing how other people gravitate to you, and you'll start seeing how you start repelling some people away. When you start repelling some people away, it's best to do that. And if you're in a situation where you feel someone is pulling away and going in a new direction, allow them. Allow them to go, because you have to allow them to go, because it means they're on a separate path journey than you, and no one's on the same path journey. Everyone has their own paths. Not, which is not saying that you won't reconnect, or you won't come back and meet again, because 9 times out of 10 you will. If someone's been in your life for a long period of time, there's a good chance that you guys might cross paths. But in some cases, it means that a cycle is ended, and a lot of times when a cycle in your life ends, people leave and move on to other things, other pastures. And sometimes some of those people that you have to leave or you have to walk away from, you have to do it because they're just not a match. They're not in your vibrational field. Even though how bad they want to be in your vibrational field, you can't lower your vibration to them, because you have to keep going, because there's something for you. Whatever you lose, something better will come to replace it. It's not right away. Just let you know, it's not right away. It's not. So don't think it's like, oh, Gabriel said, yeah, if I get rid of this person, yeah, something else going to come in. No, no. It doesn't happen that fast. It doesn't happen that fast at all. Because usually when a disruption comes and you have to give up something, or someone walks out of your life, or you have to walk out of someone else's life, there's a healing process. Because it hurts, especially if you have love and feelings for this person, especially if you were, mother, father, parent, girlfriend, wife, child, anything like that. There's a healing process, because love is love. I mean, we're not robots here. You just can't say, oh, well, yeah. You can say anything you want, but you still love, and you still got to do that healing. But while you're doing that healing, just know whether within the spectrum you're on, whether you're the person walking away or you're the person that's dealing with an individual walking away, just know that just send nothing but love and affection to that person, and accept that they are, and allow them to transcend, because whatever the situation may have been, whether you ended on good terms, bad terms, not speaking, whatever it may be, time heals all wounds. And if you allow them to go and where their soul's calling, so they can spread their wings and be free, then you never know what might progress during that time while they're away from you. Because your soul knows that it wants to be free. And when it wants to be free, it wants experiences. It wants things that it's been held back and limited from. And it's not just itself, but you as a person. I mean, think about this. How many of you guys out there, I know a lot of people out there work most of their lives and whatnot, but I can honestly tell you, ask you this. Out of all this working, some of you have worked your whole lives, but are you happy? Are you happy with yourself? I mean, what do you do for yourself? On your days off, what do you do? You know, do you get creative? Do you go for just a drive or the countryside? I mean, just small things like that. You know, for me, it's traveling. It's traveling. I've been getting called to travel, and I'm ready for it. Ready to experience travel. It's a whole world out there that I've never seen, and I would like to experience it. It would be really good material for my business and whatnot. That's my soul calling, and among other things. So, but what's yours? That's the question. What's yours? What's yours? Um, that's all I have to say. But those are some questions to start asking yourself. Who am I? And oh yeah, more importantly, never think you're too old to do anything. Age is only a number. Unless you're trying to fake and fool somebody and trying to get married to them or something like that. But anyway. But just get in tune with yourself. And always remember that while you're doing this and while you're going through this, pay close attention to your dreams. Pay close attention to your energy. And more importantly, go inside and heal any inner child wounds you may have. And they run deep and they're really messy. And a lot of times they're really, really hard to face. But you have to, if you want to get to a point where you are loving yourself regardless of what the hell's going on around you. If you can find happiness in the harshest, unpleasant of places, you can find happiness everywhere, anywhere. All right, that's all I got to say. Welcome. Thank you for listening to another episode of Gabriel's Corner. I love you all. Peace, love, and blessings.